Oh, Mr. Shonipani, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on the show, and to the viewers. It's always a pleasure to be on this platform as we share issues that are happening within the political sphere. Thank you.
Him alone, because that is the other question that we have, I think, as people. And if you have any question, please type it, as long as no insult, please. I won't read insult. If it's a question, a real question, just type, ask Traore. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, it is actually true that General Chiwenga came prepared with quite a heavy dossier of all the Ganandas that are engaged in corrupt activities that are currently underway in the nation of Zimbabwe. And so, to the surprise of Mnangagwa, he never saw this one coming. It actually hit him as a surprise, to the extent that he had to hit a panic button of threatening to resign if pressure was put on him to arrest these Ganandes. Because now, for Emerson Mnangagwa, it is not to separate himself from these people, because the inactivities which General Chiwenga is accusing Gananda of engaging in, he knows it's an indirect way of telling Mnangagwa face to face that I know you are currently engaging in acts of A, B, C, and D. All of those things are pointing back to Emerson Mnangagwa. So Emerson Mnangagwa, like what happened in the Mike Chimombe case, whereby they tried to prosecute these people, but the eventuality of the matter led to the exposition of Mnangagwa that all the money that was received by these people had to go back to Emerson Mnangagwa. So he knows in this case, it's quite a high profile case. Unlike the Mike Chimombe and Mpofu case, this one it's quite deep, and it will expose him even more. Hence, him threatening to resign. And everything was read there in the Politburo meeting by General Chiwenga, and he actually gave the figures in all and how the money was being stolen from the nation. So it was actually a huge blow. It's not a lie. And Mnangagwa was in a panic mode.
Yes, thank you. Then the other part of the question, whereby I asked you to comment on whether was this dossier a one-man dossier, because it came through Chiwenga, but do you think it was him alone who came up with that document, or there is actually more people behind Chiwenga who helped him with
You,
that particular document?
you need to understand something. There is so much disgruntlement from various sectors. We've got quite a lot of people who do not want Mnangagwa to be leading. And who are hard to expose Mnangagwa and actually show the world that we are sick and tired of this person. This person is highly corrupt. So it's for General Chiwenga, he's not just working alone. Because, mind you, he's doing this for the nation. So there has to be collective effort, or rather input, that is coming from various stakeholders. And these are the people that are working hand in glove with the general, sending all of this information to him. And mind you, it makes a lot of sense, because General Chiwenga has always known that Mnangagwa is up to no good, especially with his behavior of late. He's been told you need to clamp on corruption. You need to make sure you arrest people. And Mnangagwa has been very much arrogant and is not taking any action to deal with these rogue elements. So this has actually turbocharged General Chiwenga to say, no, 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 enough is enough. We cannot be running down the country and the economy at the expense of the masses. So he's working with quite a lot of people, and Mnangagwa doesn't know any of this. It's actually shown him that it's he was actually undermining people who he thinks are within his system, people he thinks are loyal to him, but these people are actually sending another signal to General Chiwenga that it's time that you save us. So when Mdara Bombshell Geza is saying that enough is enough, Mdara Geza is not only speaking on behalf of himself, because all of the information that is reading and explaining to the people, these are things that are actually coming from the people. So whoever that is exposing, it might be Traore, it might be Hlonipani, but these are people who've got actual information of what is exactly transpiring within the corrupt system of Emerson Mnangagwa.
And someone says, my question is that, are these Zikanandas not going to escape the country before the action is taken? I've seen a lot of people, and also developing on that. Do you think Mnangagwa is prepared to arrest these people, especially looking at the feedback after the Politburo and Central Committee, what has been done by these Zikanandas as well as his supporters?
Mnangagwa is definitely not going to arrest these people because it's going to weaken him. It's going to weaken his system. Because mind you, these are people who are working on commission, and here we're talking about billions of dollars being stolen from the nation. So you can imagine that if I'm to do a transaction with you, if I'm to front a deal for you, and then let's take for instance the deal is 20 million, how much will you give me? Obviously, you'll give me quite a good cut, and all of that money I will reinvest it in making sure that we've got grassroots at the bottom. So this is the case that is happening. Mnangagwa cannot function without these people because they've actually become his power base. These are the people who are helping him to consolidate power as far as all sectors are concerned. We're talking about the entertainment industry. We're talking about in areas where churches are involved. You've seen what he's managed to do, be it Mapo story.
I don't know what is happening. I hope. Oh, okay. I don't know what is happening. You can come back again. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes, you can proceed. You just cut off when you're talking of Mapo stories. That's the last word I heard.
So now he's using these people to make sure that
Check. I think you are mute now. You are mute now. I don't hear you. Check. Didn't you mute yourself? Let's check the microphone. The icon.
no, it's not.
The microphone. Yeah, because I can't hear you. I hear myself, but I can't hear you. I don't know. Maybe it's the rituals of the Zikanandas. Can you try talking again? I don't know. Or maybe I can take it down and we restart afresh. I don't know what is happening. It was going well and everything. Are you okay? Yeah, if you can go and come back again, I don't know really what is happening. So we are trying to connect with our guest. I hope you will actually come again, whereby we are looking into the current state of ZANU-PF, looking into also the current developments that have transpired in the body politics of Zimbabwe. I hope Traore can try again to come through. And we see what happens, or if it doesn't come through, we have to bring him again because he was touching on quite a very important issues. It's good to hear from someone who is in ZANU-PF, who understands ZANU-PF. He is one of the youth leaders of ZANU-PF, but particularly supporting in this regard retired General Chiwenga. I hope he can come through. If you are watching us, just try to use that link to come through again. Yes, thank you. Let's just wait and see. Maybe this time around it's gonna work. We're still waiting. I don't know what is happening. Okay, let me add you again. Okay, so we are trying to get hold of Traore. Yeah, I hope this time around. Sorry, comrade.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. We are back. You are back. So if it happens, you just try to request again. I'll be waiting for you. So you were talking about very, very serious issues. Can you just continue from there?
Yes. So for Mnangagwa, these are very, very important players because you'll see that these are the people that he's using to capture influence on the ground. Practical examples, which people have actually noticed and seen. We've seen what he's managed to do on the Mapostori for how much those people were given and what transpired for them to be captured, where we saw Wicknell Chivayo donating more than 10 buses to these people. And he went on to donate top of the range vehicles like Fortuners, Toyota Fortuners, each worth 75,000 US dollars and 50,000 cash on top. He's also moved on to the Pentecostal churches, whereby he's given Prophet Walter Magaya a car, a Maybach, with 400, GLS 600, with 450,000 US dollars, and on top of that, 100,000 US dollars. He's also given the wife of Prophet Magaya Toyota 300 series vehicle and $50,000 on top. So now we look at the numbers that follow these people, the numbers that follow Prophet Magaya, the numbers that follow the leadership of Mapostori. This will just goes on to show that it becomes difficult for any of those people to make a proper introspection of the wrong things which these people are currently doing, because they would have shown, they would have extended a token of love and appreciation to people that they look up to, people who give guidance as far as the spiritual side of things is concerned, which contribute greatly to how people live their lives during the course of the day. So these people are really, really important to Mnangagwa, and I don't see him arresting any of these people. And if it was even possible to arrest these people, it was not going to push him to even utter the words of resigning or handing over power. So these are some of the things which you've seen Mnangagwa engaging in from time to time. He always have a plan under his sleeve whereby he brings up something, but we all know it's actually a strategy of trying to buy power, because now Mnangagwa has resorted to the 2028 mantra, and we all know he's trying to buy time, and it's obvious to everyone that come 2027 Mnangagwa, General Chiwenga, will be dead.
Okay, yeah. I hear you.
By Mnangagwa.
So, okay, still on that now, adding on what Mnangagwa has actually been doing to try and show he has raised, is not in fact focusing on that. We hear that from Blessed Geza coming through warning Zimbabweans that he has brought in Temba Mliswa to try to be a spin doctor. But Temba Mliswa, somehow, do you think he is up to task when it comes to that particular job? And what is the interest really for Temba Mliswa to join Mnangagwa? Does he see a future in Mnangagwa? Maybe if you can ventilate around these areas, or is it because he claims they are relatives, of which I know maybe political relatives?
Okay, now people need to understand something. When it comes to Temba Mliswa to the first family is a part of that family. That's the relationship which is the Temba Mliswa is family, part of the Mnangagwa family. And also, Temba is one cunning and naughty person. And along the way, Temba has been committing various offenses, but has been getting immunity from the Mnangagwa family. So Temba Mliswa definitely knows that the Third Republic will have nothing to do with anyone who is within the circles of the first family or related to the first family, because these people are the sole reason why people are calling for the Third Republic to come into effect, because they've been engaging in activities that have highly sabotage the country. So Temba Mliswa knows he will not have the freedom of doing as he pleases. So he will just a phone call from Mnangagwa calling him to do something to act against Vice President General Chiwenga. He will do it at a fast pace because he definitely knows General Chiwenga is coming to deal with such rogue elements.
Okay, and also maybe if you can comment, we saw yesterday the pictures of retired General Chiwenga with Sanyatwe in a church, the son being confirmed there. Does it mean, was that a form of solidarity, or it was just an incident which people are reading too much into it?
Now, I will comment on two things. One last thing on Temba Mliswa. I did Temba Mliswa in one of my videos, in one of my audios before, I think some 2-3 months back, and I told people Temba Mliswa has just been robbed in to do the dirty work of trying to paint General Chiwenga black, and people did not believe me. But the issue was on the money. Temba Mliswa was given a certain amount of money and it was not really impressed. Not that knowing very well that the money was coming from Kudakwashe Tagwire. He knows how much money Kudakwashe Tagwire has, and he wanted quite a reasonable amount of money that would help him. And what he was given, he saw it as more of an insult. That is why he did not really go overdrive when dealing with the issue. But this time around, things were done properly. A formal meeting was called. And how much money do you want? And that's how he got to be given quite a good amount of money. He was actually given more on top of the amount that he had requested. That is why the guy is even fired up. But now he's changed this formula of attack. Because long leaked about him receiving money from the residence, an official residence of Emerson Mnangagwa. So for him to go and do a presser right away, it would actually expose him. So he's changed the strategy now. He's resorting to attacking General Chiwenga on Facebook, on Twitter, but trying to attack him, but not really as an official presser. So you're going to see him using his channel very often on YouTube now, holding 10-20 minute videos and sending them on that channel, speaking as if he's just a citizen who is expressing his views. But people will actually see the bias in relation to the narrative that will be driving to the people. And the second issue which you had asked me, would you mind just rephrasing it so that I can
just
really
answer it, because I was gonna come back to Temba Mliswa, so I wanted to connect the dots. Yes, you can go ahead, answer that.
You had asked me the second one. Would you mind rephrasing it?
Oh, no. I was saying, as we saw the pictures yesterday of Sanyatwe and Chiwenga, I mean, do they confirm some form of solidarity or working together at this critical time, taking into consideration that whatever appears publicly within the factions at the moment would be read as such by the people?
Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. Most people actually still have a question mark. Some people actually doubt General Chiwenga, General Sanyatwe, and say, but we saw him with Kudakwashe Tagwire at one point. We saw him attending an official launch of Scotland Geza, some function of that sort. And I would like to make something clear here that people need to listen to attentively. You cannot separate General Sanyatwe from General Chiwenga. This is just one person. This is just one person. This is more than just a solidarity. Everything that General Sanyatwe does, you cannot separate General Chiwenga from it. Everything that General Chiwenga does, you cannot separate General Sanyatwe from it. Because, mind you, they've got one common denominator. All of them are tried and tested war veterans. And also, after the war, they went on to serve in the army, which has seen them building relations over this great period of time, whereby the relationship which they have is unbreakable. So you cannot separate these two people from each other. Whatever that you think General Chiwenga wants to do, you must know this. General Sanyatwe is involved. Whatever you think General Chiwenga does not want to do, General Sanyatwe does not want to do that thing also.
Okay, let's
And all
listen
of them
to a
are
clip.
happening.
Okay, let's just listen to a small clip. I think I'll comment that on another live broadcast, and then you can
Okay.
actually comment on this from Temba Mliswa.
We must be seen to be fighting corruption, but actually not targeting China. One and so forth, but so forth. Traditionally, we must be seen to be fighting corruption, but actually not targeting China.
Okay, so what he is saying, he's saying corruption is real. He's admitting that corruption indeed is real, but in fighting corruption, people should not politicize the matter. And in simple terms, he says corruption is the, just read this. He said, sorry, just a moment. I just want to stop his audio. All right. He says corruption is the biggest enemy in the country, but the fight against it must be factual and legitimate, not weaponized. So he is of the opinion, I think in my humble submission, that Chiwenga is weaponizing the fight against corruption in Zimbabwe. That is what Temba Mliswa is saying. What is your view and comment on that?
When Temba says that, that is assorted rubbish, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. How can you separate politics from governance? You can never separate politics from governance, because now there's a certain standard of leadership that is expected from leaders. You see, and then it's an issue of credibility. ZANU-PF is being put to test here. That you guys have been winning elections every single day. General Chiwenga was actually challenging President Mnangagwa that in all the speeches that you seem to be presenting, reading to the people, you're talking about dealing with corruption, but you've not been dealing with corruption in any ways. People that we see in jails, these are people that are engaging in deals, maybe $200, $100, but those people that are really contributing to the fall of the economy, the fall of Zimbabwe, they are running scot-free. And moreover, we are seeing these people around your circles of activity, and you need to do something about it. So these are facts. You cannot take something lightly, whereby a nation like what Justice Matanda Moyo said, the leader of ZEC, when she said the country is losing $4 billion annually due to corruption, and someone comes to the Politburo and reminds the president that it's high time that you deal with these people. And moreover, these are people that are close to your circle of activities, and then someone says don't weaponize it to further. If General Chiwenga happens to talk, people listen. He's talking about that have become a bone of discussion on grassroots. So when Temba says General Chiwenga is trying to weaponize it, why? He knows Mnangagwa, his relative, is it at his weakest, because he's failed to run the economy, and therefore Mnangagwa admitting these things is a direct sign that is not fit to hold office anymore.
Okay, so now we see that Temba Mliswa is doing the job. Whatever Blessed Geza has predicted, it is happening. Now, where to from now? And we are seeing that Mnangagwa looks determined to stay in power. Where to now? I mean, whatever retired General Chiwenga was trying to attempt He is showing him a middle finger. If I can rightfully put it, where to now?
It's a point of no return now. The good thing about this issue, what has been dragging the nation from moving forward, is that when there would be one issue that looks to separate both parties, they would eventually sit down and try to iron out things, and it would actually worsen the situation because Mnangagwa is not the type that ever wants to change. So now we're at a point in time whereby it's obvious that General Chiwenga is actually showing the world that the plan of term extension was never on the paper for anyone to pursue. Therefore, Mnangagwa must prepare to hand over power, and whatever Mnangagwa is doing, they never agreed on any of those things where we see state capture, corruption, there is no development whatsoever, heavy taxing on the people. General Chiwenga is actually starting to show people that we tried to fix these things internally, but we failed. Therefore, even if it means the public has to know, so be it. But we've come to a point whereby Mnangagwa has to go. So the nation must start counting down now every day to expect to see Mnangagwa leaving office. Chances are high it's going to be bloodier, but it's just something that has to happen because Ziganandas also, just as much as the Chiwenga faction is preparing, Ziganandas are preparing also, and they know General Chiwenga is a man of force, is a man of power, and obviously they've got strategies which they've planned to show General Chiwenga whenever that he tries to do something, they will definitely try to counter it. That is why I'm saying chances are high it's going to be very, very bloody.
So, still on that same line of thought, a lot of people have been saying, I see so many comments here most of the times when I do videos. They ask, why is Chiwenga delaying this? Okay, for example, here in the Politburo, Mnangagwa voluntarily said, I cannot arrest these people. I would rather opt to resign. Why didn't he press him already to actually hand over the baton? And also, do you think the more he takes time, the more they take time to act? Because Blessed Geza was warning Ziganandas, saying, I believe Blessed Geza is just the voice of Chiwenga, was warning Ziganandas, saying, you are just left with few days. You are just left with few days. Now, don't they think within those few days, they are giving them also some time to arm themselves and to equally be at par when it comes to response of whatever action may be taken?
There is nothing that Mnangagwa thinks he can do or anything that is planning which General Chiwenga doesn't know. General Chiwenga has got eyes and ears everywhere. He's got eyes and ears everywhere.
This is very interesting what you have raised. You know, I remember I was talking about something to do with the intelligence of retired General Chiwenga. How do they get to know that Mnangagwa met with Temba? I'm sure that Mnangagwa would have ensured, strict security when he calls Temba, especially if it revolves around issues of bribing. Blessed Geza, as team, appears to be aware of all the details of what is happening, especially within the camp of Mnangagwa. In your own view, who is leaking the information? Why is the other camp, up to date in terms of actual and factual information? Because, of course, Temba Mliswa started denying that he met with Mnangagwa, but eventually he had to concede, realizing that he was not winning. In his tweets, you can tell that he admitted that indeed I met with Mnangagwa is my relatives. How do they get this information? From whom? Does Mnangagwa really have support, especially for those who are singing loud about this 2030? It's the question that comes into my mind.
Mnangagwa doesn't have support anymore. What is just failing to see and realize everything that he touches, whatever that he tries to do, it's like it backfires. It's like no one is really genuinely loyal to Mnangagwa, and that is why everything that Mnangagwa tries to do to counter General Chiwenga. Information just leaks. Whether someone is working for General Chiwenga or someone is not even working for General Chiwenga, no one wants Mnangagwa to be in power anymore. And people are actually realizing, especially those who are close to Mnangagwa. This is where it gets interesting. Imagine someone who is not closer to the Mnangagwa family can actually see that this guy is destroying the nation. What more a person who witnesses Mnangagwa's lifestyle day in, day out, who sees how he engages with people, investors, how he'll be transacting, doing deals with these Ganandas. Obviously, that person, no matter how much is given, you'll actually come to realize that this kind of behavior is not sustainable and this guy is not a good leader. And remember, no matter how much he might give you, at the end of the day, you'll still go back to your house whereby electricity only comes for 4 hours a day. And these people, mind you, they are selling electricity to other countries. And then they say to people, no, we don't have electricity. How long have people seen the president coming out and saying we've got investors who are injecting this much so that at least we fix Wange, so that we fix the Kariba generation centers. But up to now, more than 1.5 billion has been injected, but still people are experiencing power outages. And now they want to do another scheme also where they are set to steal $450 million. This deal, they made it when they went to China. And we know it's not going to help the electricity power outages. So everyone is just sick and tired that as a country, we need a point whereby we need a leader who will, who is very disciplined, who will call a spade and make sure that whatever investment that happens in the country will be meaningful. So these are the people who make sure that this kind of information gets to General Chiwenga. This kind of information gets to Comrade Bombshell Geza.
Okay, still on that, the thing that worries me is the way the Mnangagwa faction has responded in all this. We've got now all provinces of ZANU-PF having to re-endorse the 2030 mantra. Are these people forced or they are willingly loving Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa? And what do you think in the back of Mnangagwa's mind? What do you think he thinks is the impact of this? And will it work?
Now, Mnangagwa's got one illusion. Everything that has been doing before, at some point, all of it was working, which actually led him to become the president. So he still feels that luck runs within his veins, of which is actually the opposite. He's actually doing more harm than good, more damage to whatever that he stands for. Because now, look at it this way. The same people who are reading the 2030 mantra the day, night, damage by visiting all stakeholders and say, we don't have an option. You all know that is the killer. So everyone will say, but what's the point of having a leader who's always intimidating and threatening people with killing them, persecuting, harming their businesses, and all sorts of things? And those people are actually saying, we are being forced to do these things. And that is why you will see when the Third Republic comes into effect, those very same people will be the first ones to come and say, thank you so much, General Chiwenga, you've actually saved us. We've been under strict orders, being forced to fight against you. So these people are not doing it from their hearts. And mind you, this is why all of these meetings, they just call for an inter-district meeting and read those things without actually engaging or consulting with the people, for people to air out their grievances and what they want to happen within the party as far as succession is concerned. People are not being asked any of those things because the process is supposed to start from ward level. You see, it moves from ward level, then it goes to district level. From district level, then that's when they hold inter-district meetings at provincial level. Then they table their resolutions. They look at resolutions from all districts, and then they see which ones to put on the list so that they can submit to the commissariat department for implementation. Any of these things is not being done. They just read out resolutions that we have agreed that President Munanga pick one or two people that they would have bought to endorse that motion. And then, mind you, ZBC will be taking everything. Then they push this propaganda to the people, and it looks proper, it looks formal, but that is not what is on the ground. If this was a fair process, we need journalists to move around and ask people their views in regard to 2030. And I'm sure no one is tolerating any of that, because they know Zimbabwe to correct that is none other than General Constantine Chiwenga.
Someone is saying, isn't General Chiwenga independent of ZANU-PF? Because if he is, then Zimbabwe is not solving its problems. I think, though I don't hear the question very, very well, that is where I was going to. Now, we know at the moment, I think I will characterize this, that the Zimbabwean problem cannot even be a person. You know, the Zimbabwe problem is systematic. You know, we are talking of, I mean, the way ZBC was during Robert Gabriel Mugabe, it is still the same thing. I'm making an example. I mean, the way corruption was, there was Zikananda's Wicknell were there during Robert Gabriel Mugabe. They are still here under Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. The way there was no freedom of speech during Robert Gabriel Mugabe is equally so today in Zimbabwe. The way the judiciary system was manipulated is equally so. So the question that is troubling me is, okay, if the Third Republic is to come, it is supported by people at the moment, mostly because, maybe I must say, out of desperation and out of the need for change. Are we guaranteed that we are going to see a reformed Zimbabwe in a scenario whereby even there is going to be political participation, there is going to be free media, we can freely criticize even retired General Chiwenga and Sanyate, amongst other generals, and Blessed Geza, and hold them to account on some of the issues? These are the questions that, I mean, sober people standing in the terraces are asking themselves. Can you take us into confidence? Post this regime, do we really are we going to finally see a change that we have been envisaging for? Because when Mnangagwa was brought in, the issue was corruption under Robert Gabriel Mugabe, the system and everything. After a few weeks, we saw that nothing was actually going right. Are we going to get things right this time around, according to you?
Yes, definitely. It's going to be a process, but I'm convinced that things are definitely going to take a positive direction. I do get the question. People are saying we've been trying and trying and trying within the same system. And mind you, all of these people had influence in all of the many times that we kept on trying. So what chances are there that Zimbabwe is definitely going to improve, considering General Chiwenga has always been playing a critical role in the decisions? If he was really genuine, he could have influenced people to do that which is right. But I would like to tell people that General Chiwenga mentioned those things many times. This is why he was very much confident to make sure that he plays a big role in Operation Restore Legacy. He knows that the basis that would support him is that he tried to warn these people many times to change and do things right for the benefit of the general population. There are many things that people might not get to hear and get to see. Why? Because these things happen behind the scenes, and it's only now that people are actually having access to information or what happens in the Politburo, in the Central Committee, the private meetings that happen, be it at Precab or at the state house. It's now that people are getting to hear, and that's when people are actually realizing that there's actually a good side to General Chiwenga than what they've always thought about the man. And General Chiwenga is all about development, man. This is why not many things are mentioned about him. I'm actually yet to hear any about his corrupt activities, which is currently involved in. Really, at the situation where things are right now, I'm sure the Ghanaians would actually buy people to push the propaganda, to push the news on areas where General Chiwenga is engaging in corrupt activities.
I think someone is trying to call you. Maybe if you can cut that person. I heard you are receiving a call of some sort. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what
We are about
I
to
cut the call.
we are about to end. Just maybe yes, if you can continue, and maybe I will ask one or two questions. We wrap it up.
So, General Chiwenga is the kind of man who is very, very honest with himself and who wants, who desires a kind of leadership that puts people first. And I tell you this, you can put me on record. If General Chiwenga is to lose elections, you will never hold on to power, because General Chiwenga is all about an ideology that moves Zimbabwe forward. General Chiwenga knows that there is no way Zimbabwe is going to be recolonized. There is no way people are going to sell the nation to whoever, be it those in the east or the west. No. We are long past that era, and it's all about building Zimbabwe because it's an independent country. It's a sovereign state. He is all about making sure that if we are to deal with the East, be it China, be it those countries in Asia, it has to be proper, balanced, meaningful deal. If we are to deal with the West, this is why actually seen him engaging various different countries, be it in the East, the West, all of them. He's been in engaging all of them, starting with the Vatican. So he understands the standard of doing things. And that is why Comrade Geza, the spokesperson, you'll see Comrade Geza trying to extend an invitation to all political parties that everyone needs to come on board so that at least we push in the revolution. Why is he doing this? So that when the Third Republic comes into effect, everyone who is good at what they do will be given a responsibility that will see and contribute to a better Zimbabwe. So most people are going to be surprised with the kind of leadership that is going to be ushered by General Chiwenga.
Okay, yeah. Still on that, because we will remind each other these are actually questions that we are asking. For example, I must say, amongst retired General Chiwenga, Senyato, and Geza, I think I like how Geza has actually presented the revolution. And there is a lot that we will hold him to account on, especially if they are to be successful. So people are really worried. You see, for example, someone is saying during the independence era, people celebrated Mugabe and they were saying he was not going to disappoint them. But look what happened. I don't trust these African politicians anymore. There is that disappointment that has been happening to our people. We cannot blame them, by the way. So, and also I'm getting a little bit of some sense that maybe the experiences of Blessed Geza being done by Mnangagwa to him, we know that his house was petrol bombed, his family was actually haunted for simply expressing his political views. You're getting the sense. I hope the feeling now of actually being targeted for expressing your political views, your conscience, because sometimes in a country, we may have diverse views in terms of how we want the country to move forward. I mean, are we guaranteed that these people are learning how difficult it is to be actually a slave in your own country? And if by God's grace they get to be in power, are they going to allow, for example, Blessed Geza, is he going to allow another Blessed Geza behaving in a certain manner he has actually behaved, and actually be allowed freedom to exercise that? Because all what is needed also, freedom plays a very, I did development studies, by the way, freedom, media freedom, observing of human rights such as freedom of expression and so forth plays a critical role in development. For example, you see Mnangagwa is going nowhere because he is surrounding himself with people who are saying what he expects them to say. Going into the future, do we think that retired General Chiwenga Sanyato, based on, they have said very, very reckless political statements before, I must say, especially Sanyato, where he said ZANU-PF will rule until cows grow horns. At one point, retired General Chiwenga, I saw the Mnangagwa faction is using that clip where he was calling Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. What is that? This title he was giving himself during the birthday. Yes, he was saying there is one Munu Mutapa. And I think it must be Trevor Ngube. This statement on retired General Chiwenga had some tendencies of dictatorial tendencies. I must say, I have seen obviously some form of reforms from him, but people are scared. A lot of people, what do you say to people who are scared about these issues, these characteristic traits that we have seen in these leaders, provided they take over and they get to be in charge of the Third Republic, whatsoever it is called?
Okay, I think coming to the issue whereby Mnangagwa, General Chiwenga would say, Mnangagwa is the Mutapa, General Sanyato would say, ZANU-PF ichatonga kusvika madhonga amira. I think certain things we must not interpret literally, you know, because basically when we're talking about Mutapa, we're talking about a leader who represents the interests of the people. And sometimes contextually, these are some of the things that the message that General Chiwenga was trying to drive.
But okay, I'm not stopping you, but as someone who started the history, you know, anything associated with kingship talks of dictatorship. For example, if we are talking of in Matepelelen, the restoration of kingship, if that is to be in charge of us political, that is dictatorship. It has to be hereditary. It has to be in one family. So those are, I mean, people are taking it. I don't think there is a figurative explanation to this. This is what they have said. They have to account for this. I mean, and actually, you know, I'm not saying anyone is not perfect. Equally, I'm not perfect. But you see, these statements, in my view, they can be used by their enemies to say, but saying this, they cannot be any different from Mnangagwa. I'm saying, having said this, can you take people into confidence? Because I strongly believe this channel is watched by different people from various political parties who want to be balanced and also not say good things about people, raise some of the ugly things that they have said. Equally so, if CCC people are going to come, I've got a lot of questions about things they have said on this channel, and I will actually ask them the very same questions. So take us holistically. How can an ordinary Zimbabwean like me, who wants change, who wants a better country, trust these people having said so?
Let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. Now, leadership, this is what I always tell people. This is how I view it. Leadership is not about me. Leadership is not about you, but it's all about the people. Therefore, if people are not happy with a certain statement that a leader would have said, no matter his good intentions, you are there because of the people. And if people are not happy about it, therefore, you must not say it ever again, because it unsettles people. If you are a leader, make sure the leader that you preach to the people must not unsettle them, because people want the message of love. Whatever context that you were saying it in, maybe it was good in your view, maybe you did not mean to scare people of what. If people say we are not happy because of what you said at such a time, it means the next time you go in front of the people, you need to change that and come with the language that is more friendlier to the people, that does not actually distance you from the people. On this one, we need to be fair, man. If people don't want it, they don't want it. No matter how much I like General Chiwenga, no matter how much I love him, I subscribe to his vision. This is a free country. This is where democracy comes in, man. Leaders need to be able to be corrected by the people that they lead, so that whatever language they use in front of those people must be in unison with their beliefs and with the ideology which people expect from those people. So what is wrong is this wrong. If people were not happy, therefore that language must never be used again.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. For example, I was not really happy with that. I'm sure I'm representing a lot of people. Anyway, so I don't want to lie, and I have never lied. I can assure you a lot of people are putting their trust and support to these people at the moment, because there is absolutely no one who can rescue people from Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has become a societal hazard. I don't want to sugarcoat it. And in my view, I mean, he has overstayed his time and proven beyond reasonable doubt that he's an enemy of the people. At the moment, people are supporting retired General Chiwenga. In your, maybe as a summation, what do you think the Third Republic, is it the Third Republic, will give us as the people? I think people are expecting that. As someone who has been, even you, what exactly will you be lobbying for the Third Republic to do?
What I say about the Third Republic, what I've been always advocating for. Now, democracy, there has to be laws of democracy must be aligned with the 23rd Constitution. Freedom of expression. People need to be free to express themselves. People must not be scared of their leaders. Definitely, I mean in a respectful way. It's we are not robots, man. Therefore, we don't see things in the same vein. We are not wired to the same frequency. But things just have to be done in a respectful way. Myself in 2022, I got arrested, by the way. It's on record. People know me as an activist. And initially, when I started political activism, one of the reasons why I did not get a very, very, very top post is people will always say, this guy is a plant from the opposition, because the way we run things is the opposite, is the ruling party is ZANU-PF, and how he does his things. It's showing a bit of some bias towards the opposition. But I'm saying politics, I've always said to people, politics has to evolve. And I was arrested. Why? Because I said in 2022, Mnangagwa is not the right candidate for 2023 elections. Looking at how Mnangagwa has handled himself ever since he got into power, and how things were during Mugabe's time, Mugabe was actually better. Therefore, as a party, we need to have another leader to represent us in the elections. And I got arrested. They said I was insulting President Mnangagwa. I was in prison for a week. Then they said, the magistrate said, the provincial magistrate said, no, this guy did not do anything wrong, did not insult anyone, but he was actually airing out his opinion, which is not a crime because he did it in a respectful way. Evidence was there. I did not insult the man. So just so you can understand that the Third Republic is going to be different. It's it's something that has never been normal to see someone from ZANU-PF speaking good things about other comrades in other political parties. I'm one person who sees the good in Ostalos. I'm one person who sees the good in Fadzai Mahere. No matter how much they might criticize me, say bad things about me, but I actually appreciate the good
Yeah,
which
those are
they can
genius
do.
young people. Those are very, very genius young people whom, if properly
You
used,
see,
maybe even in the opposition benches, can actually help transform the country.
yes,
Now,
I
there is a statement that is read that ZANU-PF people in general don't care about how we feel, hence they don't care what they say in public. E.g., Chris Mutswangwa's statement about those people who were arrested during SATAC preparations, you remember. So these are feelings that people have. Anyway, we cannot blame them. People have been actually through a lot. So I hope this Third Republic will actually be in touch with people, like what you have been saying. You can be in a political party and criticize it. You cannot be arrested for that. To be frank,
yes, it's
that's the
wrong.
political culture that people want. I should not be actually attacked because I gave Traore an opportunity to speak here. I will equally CCC people. I'm opening up for
Yes,
them. I think you have seen I'm a very open person. If you just contact me, we make an arrangement. I give you a platform to speak whatever you speak. As the people, if they want to speak, I'll give them a platform. They speak whatever they speak. So, and I mean, this is how actually the media should be run. They shouldn't be gatekeepers. I want to see a scenario whereby people are really free. One day, I bring a ZANU-PF person, a CC and so forth. We get to discuss issues of national
yes,
interest.
yes.
Yes,
This is how it
without
should be.
insulting
Political
other, but
tolerance. Yes,
raising points of national significance and national importance, something that has never existed. I've seen a ZPC that will be pushing a narrative. I've seen also private media that is pushing opposition. It should be a media that is free for all. I think
yes.
that is what we are expecting, and everybody is anticipating. Anyway, your last words into what we have experienced and what we are bound to see in some days to come, and maybe promises, if possible.
What I would like to tell people is, I've always told people a certain time is going to come whereby there is not much that will be happening on Traore's side, Hlonipane's side, because politics would have advanced to high levels, whereby it's just going to be Mnangagwa versus Chiwenga. And that is what is happening now. It's a make or break for any of those people. And unfortunately, time is not on their hands because they know whoever that will strike first is going to be the winner in all of this. So you're going to see people shifting sides. You're going to definitely see people getting fired. You're going to see people resigning. It's something else. Unpredictable events are going to be unfolding. Things that you would never expect that they were ever going to happen. Those are the things that will be happening within this time frame of 2 weeks. These 2 weeks are going to be dramatic. This is where, but when people will actually see and hear General Chiwenga speaking more, not only in the Politburo, but even outside of the Politburo. Even Comrade Geza, you're going to be seeing him more often this time around because there are going to be quite a lot of things that will be coming to clarify within the people why there is not really much time. It's now or never. So he'll be coming to speak more often in this case because of the events which will be happening. And now Mnangagwa, he's got two options: either to fire General Chiwenga or have him killed. These are the two things which are topping his list
Yeah,
that will
yeah.
see him
I forgot.
implement.
I forgot to ask you this very important question. Sorry about that. Thank you. You have reminded me. Now,
Okay.
there are rumors that Mnangagwa may be planning to fire him and certain other maybe people within his cabinet whom he thinks are aligned to him. If that happens, what do you think would be the order of the day?
Definitely, it's something that is on its way. He was trying to avoid it. I'm sure you've had presentations where you'll be talking about it, that it's expected that this week General Chiwenga might be fired. But now there is no relationship anymore whatsoever between these two people. So there is no
I see.
point in Mnangagwa keeping Chiwenga in his government anymore, because he knows his vision and Chiwenga's vision are totally opposite. So definitely you will see Mnangagwa firing General Chiwenga, and we expect to see that happening very, very soon. But I would like to tell you something. Mnangagwa has been very, very busy of late. But General Chiwenga has been very relaxed. You see him in church. You see,
Yes,
this
yes,
must
yes.
tell you something. General Chiwenga has long finished everything and is just implementing these things at different intervals. He's finished planning. He's finished
Yeah, my
engaging
thoughts.
the people that yes, he's finished engaging people that he was supposed to engage with to try and sell even his vision so that those people can support him. So Mnangagwa now is trying to tighten screws and everything, and General Chiwenga is implementing. And like what Mdara Geza says, his last, I like it also, you raised that point also, and you were like, people don't read the political language. Comrade Geza said, it's happening, meaning to say, this is the right time of removing Mnangagwa from power and making sure they ushering in the third republic into effect. So Mnangagwa is on his way out.
Yes, yes. You know, the military language is totally different with civilian language. So that's what I was trying to draw people in. For example, Putin will tell you we are carrying out, we are actually training the military along the border of Ukraine while it is planning an invasion. You see, Trump will tell you we want to stop drugs moving into the United States of America through that channel, while it is preparing something else. So the language of especially people from the military is quite misunderstood. They may be signaling something while you are not seeing them. Thank you very much, Comrade Traore, for joining us today. We've had a marathon, and we hope to see you in some days to come. Let me love and leave the viewers of this channel and urge you to press the red or black subscribe button before you sign out, and also to remember to support this work by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. We are leaving you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody and good day to you, comrade. Siyabonga.